to moderate this webinar series organized with the ASEAN health sector through the kind facilitation of the Health Division of the ASEAN Secretariat. The first webinar of this series of webinar has the aim to showcase the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact and the role of cities in urban and national food system transformation. I kindly remind you to turn off your mic during the webinar, and if you have any questions, to start writing them in the chat. Before starting, and please, could you everyone turn off your mic? Okay. So before starting, and while we are waiting, all the participants, because you are still joining us, and that's very good, I would like to show you a short video of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact, just to give you some vibes from our network. Thank you.
We have connected cities around the world and millions of people who inhabit them. We have worked together to overcome challenges. We have shared our experiences to inspire each other. We have made our ideas the core of our actions. Our shared goal remains the same, making food systems more sustainable, fair, safe, nutritious, inclusive, and climate friendly. We are ready to face future challenges, committed to leaving no one behind. In the past 5 years, we have achieved a lot, but there is still much to do. The path ahead of us is paved. All we need to do is follow it together. Because the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact was built for us, by us. Cities and territories are the beating heart of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. They are striving to build inclusive climate action, sustainable urban development, social equity, poverty reduction, and circular economy, able to optimise resources and reduce waste. These are issues concerning us all. It is only through shared commitments and efforts that we will achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Our journey began in Milan in 2015. Following many months of preparation, the city was ready to host the Universal Expo on Feeding the Planet, Energy for Life, and to welcome mayors from over 100 cities worldwide, gathered to sign the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact.
3, 2, 1, sign!
The first ever international agreement on sustainable urban food systems was born. A document setting forth 37 recommended actions to inspire mayors and policymakers to tackle food-related challenges at the urban level. It has been 5 years of amazing projects and cooperation. Behind all this, there is a remarkable teamwork that made it all happen. This is our thriving community of people linked by a common goal.
The Milan Urban Food Policy Pact is more than an international declaration.
We, cities from all around the world, have agreed 5 years ago to develop local solutions for global issues.
We came together to sign the pact.
This is our active platform to discuss our issues and to exchange best practices.
We learned from each other and cooperate among us.
We have done a lot, but there is still a lot to be done.
Join us in our government effort to transform our food system.
We need to act now for our present and the generations to come. We owe this to our citizens and their well-being.
We owe this for the well-being of the planet, our home.
Together, we can achieve so much more.
Local solutions for global food issues.
We are the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact.
I hope this video give you a glimpse of the commitment of all the mayors that signed the pact and that they are working together with us to transform the local food system. A very good day to a representative that just joined us now during the video. This is the first webinar of the series co-developed by the Milan Pact Secretariat and the ASEAN Health Sector through the kind facilitation of the Health Division of the ASEAN Secretariat. So we are now going to start officially this webinar series with the welcome remarks of the Vice Mayor of Milan in charge of food policy, Ms. Anna Scavuzzo.
Thank you very much, Filippo. Dear all, as Filippo said, I'm Anna Scavuzzo. I'm the Vice Mayor of Milan in charge of food policy, and I would like to express to you a very good day from Milan. First of all, thanks to the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact Secretariat, the staff, the team, and all the people in charge for this meeting, also from ASEAN. Thank you very much. For us, it's a very important chance to work together. And it's my pleasure, as Filippo said, to open this first session of the webinar series on food and nutrition in ASEAN cities, jointly developed by the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact Secretariat and the ASEAN Health Sector. Thank you very much. A very important meeting today, the first one of a series. I think it's a very good also proposal for the future. I'm very honored to kickstart this activity, which is just the starting point of what I think will be a very fruitful cooperation with ASEAN over the coming months. I'm here today representing the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact, a joint commitment of mayors, as we saw in the movie and in the video, from all over the world that are actively working on transforming our urban food systems. Since 2020, the city of Milan decided to fully commit to working more in Asia Pacific, following a rising interest from cities in the region. Therefore, we decided to further increase our efforts and resources in the region, welcoming new signatory cities participating to European funded projects, supporting municipalities in their challenges with knowledge and tools developed by the Milan Pact. This newly established partnership with the ASEAN Health Sector reiterates once again our strong interest and willingness to continue exchanging with cities in ASEAN. And so I would like to thank the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs that has accompanied us on this path under the ASEAN-Italy Development Partnership, with the ultimate goal of contributing firsthand to the objectives of the Equitable Partnership. We have developed this webinar series, which aims at spreading themes on food and nutrition that are at the core of our network. We will involve champion cities along with different key partners of the Pact to ensure the transfer knowledge and good practices as much as possible, while striving to achieve the Pact's goal altogether. I take the opportunity also to invite cities not yet members of the Milan Pact to sign it, so to share their best practices and challenges and get supported by the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact Secretariat and by the whole community. I am sure that Ms. Gingin Gindaya will inspire you with his experience in the Milan Pact later. Thank you very much, Gingin, also for your enthusiasm. You are a very inspiring person for people in your region. And let me congratulate to the city of Bandung. This is a spoil news, because the city of Bandung has been re-elected in the steering committee of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. So thank you also for the efforts of these years. I conclude by stressing once again that the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact set as its priority to support Asia-Pacific cities to release their positive impact on sustainable food system. This commitment will surely continue under this framework and with the cooperation of each of us. I would like to thank once again the ASEAN health sector for this fruitful cooperation, all the speakers present here today, the staff I mentioned at the beginning, and I hope you will join us for the following sessions. I wish you a nice discussion and thank you very much. Fruitful work to each of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vice Mayor, for this word remarks and to be with us during this important opening. Let's now move to the second remarks. We will hear a video from Dr. Chatanom Manitip, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Lao People's Democratic Republic, and the current chair of the ASEAN Senior Official Meeting on Health Development. We cannot hear the audio, I think.
Distinguished resource persons, representatives, and participants. A pleasant day to all of you. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to this webinar on the overview of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact in ASEAN and the role of cities in urban and national food system transformation. This is the first joint activity between the ASEAN health sector and the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact since the approval of this partnership by the ASEAN Senior Official Meeting on Health Development in August 2023, with the support of the ASEAN Health Cluster 1 on promoting healthy lifestyle and ASEAN Secretariat. This activity is part of the approved webinar series with MUFPP that will facilitate sharing experiences on lessons learned in food policy and food system transformation with the engagement of participating cities. This webinar series will also be supporting cities to identify the best strategy to tackle their respective local issues through multi-sectoral approaches in securing the right to nutrition food for all. The recently launched ASEAN Food and Nutrition Security Report, Volume 1 and Volume 2, reveal that the challenges to good nutrition are evolving in an increasingly modern and urbanized world. The crisis of malnutrition in Asian region is manifested and driven by a range of persistent and evolving factors, including ineffective food system. Asian leaders have already signaled their commitment to respond to the changing food and nutrition environment with the adoption of the ASEAN Leaders Declaration on Ending All Forms of Malnutrition. There is a high-level political commitment adopted by the ASEAN Summit leaders in 2017. Under the leadership of the Ministry of Health, Lao PDR, as the current chair of the ASEAN Senior Health Officials and the ASEAN Health Ministers, continuous support is being provided with the ongoing contribution and sharing experiences in providing more effective and integrated essential strategy and approaches on the design, implementation, monitoring, and enforcement of relevant legislation, policy, and programs in the regions. This will be further scaled up and sustained with multi-sectoral and multi-stakeholder engagements through the implementation of the ASEAN Post-2015 Health Development Agenda 2021 to 2025 and its cluster work programs. To further pursue valuable exchanges and updates based on what I have shared, all of us will learn more about related methods from the distinguished resources speakers in this webinar. May this be valuable mutual learning lesson for all of us. I wish you a very fruitful and productive discussion ahead. Stay safe and healthy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for opening this webinar series. This session will now continue with an in-depth presentation of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact and the action undertaken by cities in your region on urban food policies. You will see how working on our urban food system have a tangible impact on our citizens, their health and their well-being. After that, after this presentation, we will hear the experience, as the Vice Mayor anticipated, from the city of Bandung, that is a newly elected steering committee member again for this region. And after that, there will be a Q&A session. Of course, during the presentation, you are invited to writing the question in the chat so we can start answering you. I will now give you the floor, Serena. Serena is officer of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact Secretariat, and she is responsible for Asia Pacific. She, as I just mentioned, she will present the Milan Pact and the main trend and activities in the region. Over to you, Serena.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to introduce you the work of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. So starting, yes, next slide, please. Okay, so the Milan Pact was launched back in 2015 as the main heritage of Expo Feeding the Planet, Energy for Life. Is a global commitment of mayors that are actively working towards transforming the food system. The Pact provides a list of 37 recommended actions that are clustered into 6 categories that you can see on the screen. And according to the political priorities of each city, a mayor can decide to focus on specific actions. So given the focus of today's webinar, I will give you some of examples of what kind of activities cities can and actually are implementing. For example, many cities are actively working on developing school feeding programs. So this is an action that perfectly is included in the sustainable diets and nutrition category, or they are working on public procurement, or else they are working on training farmers. So this is, for example, an action that could be redirected to food production, but has an indirect, of course, impact on the health of citizens. So really, there are a lot of activities the cities are already doing to promote a better health in their communities. So next slide, please. So this is just a map showing you the membership of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact at the moment. So we have about 270 cities. There are in the 6 regions of the pact. Next slide. Okay. So what we do, so basically the Pact has a secretariat which is hosted in the city of Milan that made makes all the activities that you see here on the screen possible. So we facilitate all the activities and the knowledge exchange among cities, and we do this through meetings, webinars, field visits, trainings. So the kind of activities we are doing right now, but also project and networking activities. I will show you a bit more in the coming slides, some examples of these activities. So indeed, the role of the network is to promote the knowledge exchange and support cities that want to work on their urban food system. And we do this through the 37 recommended actions that I was mentioning before, which are also paired with the 44 indicators. So the indicators have been developed with RUAF and FAO, and they support cities in measuring the impact and so what they have achieved in their journey. And last but not least, we have the practices that we have collected through the Milan Pact Awards. I will talk a bit more about these in the coming slides. So next slide, please. So here you can see an overview of the partners that we are working with and the support of all our activities. I think we have with us today both Recall Indonesia and the UNPAR, the Catholic University of Bandung. We are working really hard with them, so very happy to have you with us today. Next slide. Okay, so this is one of the example of the activities that we do. We organize also events. We organize events at a global level. So the events at global level are a moment where all signatory cities, all mayor officer from our cities can meet and exchange in person through a 3-day event. So you can see here some pictures from previous global forum. And then in the next slide, you will see the picture from the last global forum that we had in Rio de Janeiro. Each city can decide like the main topic of their event. Often is a topic close to the priorities of the city. And so last year, the city of Rio de Janeiro decided to focus its event on the theme of food to feed the climate justice. Next slide. So I will give you now a bit of an overview on the Asia-Pacific region, where, of course, the ASEAN cities belong to. So at the moment, we have 34 cities in the region, and you can see on the screen we have 17 signatory cities from 4 ASEAN countries. I will add also that we have a special partnership also with Singapore, that as a city-state is not a signatory cities, but we are actively working with them. Next slide. So this is kind of a bit of a history of what we have done over the years. So up until 2020, there wasn't a great participation from cities in Asia, but then like there was a great commitment from our side to include and make like them participate more in our activities, because we really understood there was a great potential. So you can see here the activities that we have carried out over the years. So webinars, training, and particular This has been possible thanks to two European-funded program, which we won, and through which we have developed different activities with Singapore, with Chiang Mai, with Bangkok. But I will show you in the slide after. And then of course we are really happy to have started this partnership with the ASEAN health sector. Next slide. So all these activities, of course, have been facilitated by us, by the Secretariat, but have been possible thanks to the leadership of the city of Bandung and the city of Seoul. As the Vice Mayor just announced, we are very happy that Bandung and Seoul have been renewed for another mandate. They have supported and helped us in a lot of activities. Here on the screen you just see two photos, like main photos from what they have done. So the city of Bandung that organized the first regional forum last year, and then the city of Seoul that organized last April a national dialogue with all the Korean cities of the Pact. Next slide. So as I said, the city of Bandung organized the first regional forum because yes, we do global event, but we organize also regional events because we think that it's really important to work at a regional level as cities face very similar challenges in their areas. So here you can see some picture from the first regional forum in Asia that was organized last year within the G20 framework. So it was really important because was the first event in the regional event in the region, but also because it was included in the G20 framework, and it worked as an advocacy event on the theme of urban farming. In particular, it had a specific focus on urban farming, but in general, it was a very important for making advocacy on the importance of working on urban food systems. So here you can see some KPIs from the event. Then next slide. So here are some of the examples that I was mentioning before. So here you can see the two European-funded program that we worked on during the last year and a half. So we are still working with the city of Bangkok, and in particular, we are supporting them in writing the first food strategy, but also we are actively working with Singapore on the themes of the circular economy for food. Well, we are working a lot with Bandung, but I think you have imagined this right by now, and you will hear more in the following presentation. But also we are working very close with the city of Chiang Mai. So these are just kind of the example of the activities that the Pact does. Next slide. And here you can see some of the reports that we have produced over the last months. I invite you to scan the QR code if you want to know more. These are just the reports of the activities that I've talked about. We will make sure to put also the link in the chat after my presentation. Next slide. Okay, and then moving to another important pillar for the Pact, so the Milan Pact Awards. I mentioned this before, but the Milan Pact Awards are a prize awarding the most innovative practice of our city. Up until now, we have collected 621 practices in the 6th edition of this award. And here on the screen, you can see the distribution of the practice. So you can see that the sustainable diets and nutrition category is actually the most participated in general, and in particular also in 2022. You will see here on the screen on the left side. So this, of course, means that promoting healthy eating habits is at the core of the priorities of our cities. So I think this is a very interesting data. Next slide. And here you can see an overview of the last edition of the awards. So last year we had the MPAs, and we collected only last year 251 practices from 133 cities. So if you want to know more about the awards, you can read the full report. So here on the left side, you can see an overview of all the practices that we have received that are subdivided in the different categories. As you can see, the purple one, so the sustainable diets and nutrition, is indeed the most participated. Next slide. So this is just an overview of the last edition of the awards in the Asia Pacific region. So we have had 3 cities that have been awarded: Yeosu in South Korea, Melbourne in Australia, and Bandung in Indonesia, with its program Buruan Saya, but I'm sure you will hear more in the presentation after. Just one thing that I want to mention is you see here on the screen that this practice was submitted in the food production category, but you will hear more later, but you will soon understand how many practices actually have an indirect impact on many other categories. And yes, what we have learned from the last edition of the awards is that there is an emerging interest, as you can see, in the sustainable diets and the social and economic equities from cities. And next slide. And here you can see also all the practices that the cities have submitted, which SDGs they address. So here you can see again zero hunger, or good health and well-being, sustainable diets, sustainable cities and communities. So this is just to give you an idea of the SDGs. And then last but not least, this is a bit more of a practical information from cities that are connected online today, but are not yet signatory cities of the Pact. So signing the Pact is really easy. You have, so a minimum requirement is to have at least 100,000 inhabitants. And then the signing process is really easy. You write to the Secretariat, you find the email address on the slide, and we will put it in the chat also. We will provide you a subscription form that needs to be signed by your mayor. And we will ask for a focal point, so a technical person who will be mainly in charge of the exchange among us and your city. One thing that is really important is that there are no membership fee at any stage of the process, so joining the Pact is free. But what we ask in return is to have active cities that participate in our activities, and so join our community actively. That's it. And of course, if you have questions, you can drop them in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Serena. And now I'm sure our participants have a clear sense of why it's so important to work on urban food system and how the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact can support actually the cities and mayors' effort to achieve our shared goals. You have also just seen that signing the pact is easy. We just need a letter of commitment from the mayor, and no fees of membership are required at any stage. So we will leave you some other information on the chat right now. And after Serena's presentation, we would like to provide you also the point of view of a city, and not just from the Secretariat in this introductory webinar. That's why we invited the city of Bandung, here represented by Pak Gingin Ginanjar, that is the Director of the Food Security and Agriculture Department. The city of Bandung signed the pact in 2020, and since then they have achieved amazing objective within the together with the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact and the other cities of the region. So without any further ado, I would like to give the floor to Pak Gingin Ginanjar. Silakan, Pak.
Thank you, Filippo. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank and also to say to the Honorable Vice Mayor of the City of Milan, Ms. Anna Scavuzzo. And also thank you to Ms. Anna for supporting me and City of Bandung for achievement to continue steering committee member in Asia Pacific regional. The Honorable Chair of Asian Health Sector from Lao People Democratic Republic, also Head of MUFPP Secretariat and team, Serena and Bu Lina dan lainnya. Yeah, I am excited to participate in this webinar on the overview of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact in ASEAN and the role of cities in the transformation of the urban and national food system. In this webinar, I will deliver the City of Bandung experience as a MUFPP signatory city. After the pact, we focus on delivering and introducing Buruansai in the next slide. I cannot share from here, sorry. Can please share from you.
The second slide.
Yeah, the second slide. Okay. Yeah. This picture collects a bunch of information and describes a business process of Bandung integrated urban farming that we call Buruansai. Buruansai is Sundanese, mean yard, home gardens. The word sai, apart from meaning good, orderly, or neat, is also used to abbreviate sehat is healthy, alami is natural, and economis in economic. Healthy mean it use self-management such as the use of organic fertilizer and natural pesticide with friendly waste management. Natural mean that agricultural land in the yard is treated naturally, thus creating a natural environment. And economists or economics mean that the yard is managed independently and the result can be used directly so as to reduce household expenses. Buruan Sae is planted with various food which can fulfill the family food consumption and reduce family food spending for vegetable, fruit, medicinal plant, fish, chicken, livestock, management of organic waste or household waste to be compost or animal feed, nursery, and in the future, we dream that Buruan Sae may enhance the income of the community through the circular economy. Buruan Sae is not only integrating various food, but also integrating many strategic programs of Bandung City, such as Kang Pisman program here, reuse and recycle, Bandung Tanginas, Bandung respond to stunting with safe and healthy food, as well as strengthening family nutrition through pregnant and breastfeeding women, strengthening family economy, community environment or community development, education and agricultural tourism, economic acceleration recovery program. Buruan Sae is becoming government approach to improve nutrition, safe, balanced, and various food in Bandung City through strengthening the community development. Buruan Sae was developed by pentahelic method, including government, university, media, business entity, and community. As a result, Buruan Sae adapters come from many professions, including journalists, also there are armies, and so on, is the key success of Buruan Sae. We also have Bandung Food Smart City team to enhance Buruan Sae in our international network and being a membership of MUFPP and member of its steering committee for Asia Pacific region. Next slide, please. Yeah, we have carried out the Asia Pacific Leadership Plan and following our information of partnership and regional goals, a list of possible partners in Asia Pacific that can support us and the MUFPP network in achieving goal are 6 local government, 4 non-government organization, 5 public institutions, 17 universities, 3 cities group, 4 hotel, and 8 modern market. And Asia Pacific regional goal are 6 members, 2 forum, 4 webinar, 4 project, and 17 practice. Next slide, please. Yeah, following our 3-year regional activities information, 2021 activities were our precondition looking for members and compiling a list of stakeholders. 2022 and 2023 activities were inviting, collaborating, and implementing regional goals. Next. Yeah, this following our regional outcome information. Asia Pacific Regional collected 15 new cities, 1 Asia Pacific Forum, 7 webinars, 1 project, and 18 Milan Pact Award practices. Next. Yeah, this picture show more than 30 cities were joining to MUFPP in Asia Pacific region. Indonesia is the highest country who has reached 13 members of MUFPP in Asia Pacific region. The goals are being met by the city of Bandung, one becoming active participant of MUFPP International Forum, and second, asking participation other cities in Indonesia and Asia Pacific region to be member of MUFPP to implement sustainability food system. Next. Yeah, this picture show the city of Bandung activities in 2020. The mayor of Bandung signed the Milan Pact on August 6, 2020. The city of Bandung commitment are to get involved in solution to global food problems and to follow in the development of a sustainable food system, also to participate in food policy initiative under the Milan Pact framework. And in 2020, also the city of Bandung has already participated in Seoul Urban Food Policy Conference. Next. Now this slide show the city of Bandung activities in 2021. Yeah, the city of Bandung as member of the third MUFPP steering committee served for the period 2021 and to 2022 with 12 city of MUFPP members such as Antananarivo, Kazan, Milan, and so on. Bandung and Seoul have responsibility on handling activities in Asia Pacific region. The steering committee serves as the global voice of the MUFPP signatory cities and provides strategic supervision to ensure that the organization objective and mandate are adequately carried out. And during 2021, the city of Bandung joined 3 times steering committee meeting, and the city of Bandung also took part in numerous meetings organized with the MUFPP framework in 2021 as speakers or attendees. Next. Yeah, this is how the city of Bandung active in 2022. During 2022, the city of Bandung joined 3 times of steering committee meeting. Since February 2022, the city of Bandung participated in the MUFPP and RURC Asia Pacific Food Policy Training from March 2022, and the last meeting was on December 15. As Ms. Serena has mentioned before in his presentation, the city, please next slide. Yeah, the city of Bandung hosts the first ever regional forum 3 to 4 August 2022. We convene signatory city together with our regional partner under the term improving city food security and creating work through urban farming based on culture and technology. We organize this forum with the MUFPP Secretariat and with the support of many partners such as Parayangan Catholic University, RURC program, and the AU Commission, and also Ricolto. We had 300 participants, 20 speakers, and 1 full day of field visit to discover the Bandung Urban Farming Project, as Buruan said. What is more, this regional forum was also a side event of the G20 Indonesia. This is very important because we had the possibility to advocate to the G20 leaders through dedicated recommendation on the role of city in transforming the food system. The city of Bandung attended the 8th MUFPP Global Forum in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil from October 2022, received a special mention as before for the Milan Pact Award in the category of food production. On December 2022, the city of Bandung started the inaugural meeting of every Indonesia MUFPP member. Next slide. Yeah, this is a picture show documentation of the first Asia Pacific Regional Forum, August 3 to 4, 2022. Yeah, next. Also, this picture show documentation of Head of Food Security and Agriculture City of Bandung on behalf the Mayor of Bandung received Milan Pact Award October 2020 in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And next. Yeah, this slide show the city of Bandung and other activities in 2023. As the steering committee, the city of Bandung organized and accompanied Mr. Filippo, the head of the MUFPP Secretariat, when he traveled to Sukabumi City on January 8 and 9, 2023 to oversee MUFPP membership and sign the Milan Pact for new member in Bogor City, Indonesia. During 2023, the city of Bandung joined the 7th MUFPP Steering Committee meeting on May 3rd, 2023, and also the city of Bandung submitted application in September 2023 for the 4th MUFPP Steering Committee 2023 to 2025. Next. Next slide. Yeah, this picture show documentation of Mayor of Bogor, West Java, Indonesia, Pak Bima Arya, signed Milan Pact January 9, 2023, and also next slide. This picture show documentation also of head of MUFPP Secretariat accompanied the city of Bandung as one of MUFPP steering committee visited the city of Sukabumi, West Java, Indonesia. Yeah, next. Yeah, the last, the benefit of MUFPP membership and steering committee for the city of Bandung are the city of Bandung has good opportunity to connect to the international network. For instance, because of connecting to MUFPP network, the city of Bandung has already visited by Rome delegation on October 2022 under RURC facilitation. The city of Bandung also has opportunity to study visit to the city of Rome, also sometimes visited by Secretary of MUFPP and team. Sharing and developing city good practice of food transformation system, and the last, helping to solve city problem, national and global issue via MUFPP network. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Terima kasih banyak Pak Ginggin. Thank you very much to to Mr. Genghis Nyanjar, the head of the Food Security and Agriculture Division of the city of Bandung. You have showcased very clearly a very rich and comprehensive story. That's actually your story in the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. So, as you mentioned at the end of your presentation, there are plenty of opportunity by signing it. First of all, the support that the Milan Pact Secretariat and, more important, the rest of the city members can support you in giving you best practices, advices, capacity building activities, and knowledge sharing to support your work and also your the political objective of your mayor while transforming the food system. So I'm sure there will be a lot of questions while you, let's say, are elaborating those questions to the speakers. I would like to ask everyone to turn on your camera to have a family picture together. So if you can just smile and open your camera, we will have a picture together. Okay, so I think we are quite a lot. We are more than 70, so it will take a little bit of time. Don't forget to smile. Okay, thank you so much. So it's now time for questions. You have seen in the chat some materials that we discussed about. The report of the Milan Pact Awards and also the report of our activities in Asia Pacific. So you can feel free to download them. And please, if you have any questions on anything you want to know more, how to sign the pact, or some question also for to the city of Bandung, feel free to raise your hand. Don't be shy. So while you are preparing your question, I would like to tell you a little bit about this webinar series. This was the first introductory webinar on the role of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact in transforming the food system in ASEAN cities. Then we will have another webinar on the 16th of October. At the same time of today, and we will go much more in depth on the 16th on how to develop food policy strategy with a multi-level approach. That will be, let's say, the very first step to prepare also at a political level a comprehensive strategy, and this signing the pact will be also useful because you can be inspired to create this strategy from the recommended action, but also the indicator that we have developed with the FAO. In this webinar on the 16th, you will have an intervention from FAO on the importance of a multi-level approach in developing food policy. Multi-level means, for example, involving the city, the county level, and also the national level to have a successful food strategy. And then we will hear from the city of Milan to understand more about its experience on its food strategy that actually has been approved by the City Council in 2015, And lastly, we will hear from, so the city of Milan, it's already 8th year of its food strategy. And then we will hear from a very new food strategy, which is the strategy of the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration. As Serena mentioned, we are supporting this through the IURC program, an European funding program, the Metropolitan Administration of Bangkok to develop its food strategy that will be soon presented. And then the other webinar series will be on the 6th on November on the quadruple helix of innovation. So it will be, we will provide you methodological approaches to develop a food strategy with a multi-stakeholder approach. And we will hear from Parahyangan Catholic University about the pentahelix innovation. Then we will give you useful methodologies coming from the European funded project Food Trails from the city of Milan. And lastly, we will be delighted to hear from the city of Seberang Perai in Malaysia that have a good experience to share on how to build an inclusive food system governance. Then on the 20th of November, so we will accompany you until the end of this year. We will talk about promoting healthy diets for the people and the planet. And we will be delighted to have a representative from the World Food Programme on opportunities and challenges to ensure better health for people and the planet in cities, and then also representative from the other city of the Steering Committee for Asia Pacific, which is the city of Seoul, that will tell about their experience on the eco-friendly free school meals project. And finally, the last webinar will be on the 13th of December, implementing food taxation to promote healthy diets. We will hear from WHO representative of the key role of policies in restricting unhealthy food marketing, and then from the city of Quezon that have a good experience to share about this issue with the Healthy Diet in School Act, signed by Mayor Belmonte. So as you can see, the different urban food policies, as Serena mentioned in her presentation, have a direct or indirect impact towards promoting healthier diets and healthier consumption from our citizens. So you will receive all the materials of this webinar, the recording and the presentation by the end of this week, together with the link to register to the webinar of the 16th of October, in which we will start providing you useful content and tools to develop a strategy with a multi-level approach. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand now. Or write them in the chat as well. Okay, so I don't see any hands raised for now. So once again, if you are interested to sign the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact, you can write directly to the Secretariat. We will write. We will put in the chat the email address of the Secretariat, so you can receive the draft submission, the draft subscription letter that should be signed by your mayor. And then that's all for now. You will receive everything by email, however, plus the link of registration. Please start putting it in your calendar, the 16th of October at 2 p.m. Jakarta and Bangkok time. So let me thank all participants, the speakers, of course, the Vice Mayor of Milan, who is still with us, the Dr. Chantanomanitip, Bu Serena Pa Gingin, of course, the MUFPP Secretariat team and the ASEAN Health Sector and the ASEAN Secretariat through the Health Division for having co-organized this introductory webinar. Have a good day, everyone, and see you on the 16th. Thank you so much.